Good morning. And as I just started, I just thought to myself, is today day 16 or day 17? Oh no, today's day 16. Good morning. We are on day 16 of 21 days of living and thriving as Miss Inspiration. I am Miss Inspiration Tanisha Shanae. Well, Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. Um, and thank you for joining me on my 21-day journey of embracing Miss Inspiration, who is an inspirational speaker and lifestyle strategist, who is a coach, a teacher, and is embracing that in every aspect of my life. So today, which I did not do, so I'm gonna do right now, real quick. Today we are talking about on day 16, we are talking about how faith keeps pulling people back or pulling me back. It might be pulling you back too, um, into your purpose. All right. So let's talk about this today. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And also, I want to challenge you, if you are watching this, whether you're watching this live or on a replay, can you share this with 5 people? Share this with 5 people or share this on your timeline, on social media that could inspire someone, can influence them in some kind of way. Because remember what we said before, that our inspiration can lead to activation, right? So when people are they're in these conversations, they keep hearing things. You don't have to worry if anything's going to happen, right? We just got to just let them keep hearing these different things. So this is the reason why I have challenged myself to come back and be super consistent for 21 days at the start, because I know that people just keep needing to hear these different narratives, right? And the more that they hear it, it's like little deposits, small deposits, like 1 cent deposits. And in the beginning, you start thinking, that's nothing. It's nothing. Those 1 cents, those pennies start to add up, right? And the more that is continuously being deposited, eventually something is going to stick. And that is what I'm excited to do. And this is the reason why God keeps chasing me. Okay. He keeps chasing me with this purpose, because this is actually one of the ones that I definitely do fully have many experiences with. um, Trying to step away. I think what started this journey 2012, started to get pulled on for help, like people needing help. Started to help people 2013. I think the first time I think I felt overwhelmed, because people were very dependent upon me. So like I said, for when I started the weight loss journey, I became that person that, I'm drinking smoothies every day. Now the people that are seeing me every day, they're seeing me drink these smoothies. They're seeing the transformation. They want a piece of that transformation. And um they wanted me to now, they wanted to pay me to make those smoothies for them. And I had no problem because, and I won't lie, like when I initially decided to do it, it was because of a need that I had, right? I had a unexpected bill that I could not afford out of my own paychecks. And so, my ex-boyfriend at the time, he was like, I don't have it. So what can you do, that I can help you with, that can help you to make this money? And we used the smoothies because it was something that people were interested in, and they saw and they started to invest in it. It became a problem because now, if I want to go on vacation, um, those people won't get their smoothies. So if I'm away for a week or two, they wouldn't get their stuff. And I was just like, no, I would rather teach people. And so I think that was like the first time that I ever said, I can't do this. Hey Paula, good morning. So I definitely I walked away from that because I'm just like, you know, why can't they just do it? Like I'm trying to teach them. And that's what I would actually, I had clients that We would FaceTime, because sometimes people just need someone there with them. And if I can't physically be there, okay, just get get your iPad, get your cell phone, and let me keep you company. Let me guide you through this process of making these smoothies, so that you don't, I think some people was just because they think of strawberry banana, and because of McDonald's, mango pineapple, right? And so there's so many combinations. Good morning. Oh my gosh. I love to see your name. Let me tell you, I saw someone has your name. I was reading something and I had a student. This is one of my students. Good morning, sunshine. I'm happy to see you here this morning. But yeah, so it was just more of a combination. They were just getting stuck in the common combinations, and they would not, some people have diabetes, so the A1Cs kept shooting up, and so it was like trying to help them find the right mix. So I did those types of things, but that was like on a lower scale. I think when I really tapped into the purpose side, that wasn't until 2014, 2015, and that really just because life. Right? Life with life. And the one thing, and I've had to apologize to God many of times for this, because, we stress out about money, right? Oh, thank you. Oh, ignore my Christmas shirt. I just said I wanted to put on green, and yeah, I got on my Christmas shirt this morning. But yeah, so when we're dealing with financial crisis, and I'm pretty sure God knows why we do the things that we do. When we're dealing with, like, we can't pay our bills and you want me to focus on purpose, it does become very challenging. And when I'm like, God, I got to be out here looking for a job. I can't sit on Facebook live and go live for an hour or two, because he will pour, like, it would, like, especially, and I'm going to find some of those videos and I'm going to post them on YouTube, because I don't think they're on YouTube at all. I'm going to go get some of those videos, because so many times people don't understand what I'm saying. Like yesterday, Suzanne was on with me live, and so Suzanne was my timekeeper, and I appreciated that so much. So shout out to you, Suzanne, because you was like, Tanisha, farmers market. So yesterday we had our farmers market. It started at 8:00 Central Time, and we start at 7. And so I had said in the beginning of the live, this is going to be a short one. It's going to be like 20 minutes. I think that thing came out to like 47 minutes. But it's like sometimes God is pouring and then people are, engaging. So sometimes you just don't want to, like, someone has something to say and, you want to comment, and because it's adding value to the discussion. And I just had to keep going. So Suzanne was like, Tanisha, it's time. And I was like, oh yeah. And thankfully I live in a city where the farmers market is like 15 minutes away from me. So, but yeah, so I had, those conversations with God, and I'm just like, you can't expect me to, like, how I'm gonna pay for this mortgage, and you want me to sit here. Like, I need to find a job. And so that forced me to also step away. Something that I've never talked public about, and I can talk about it now because I ain't scared of nobody. But I was in a situation where there was a religious leader that would watch my videos, and my video, whatever I spoke about in those videos, from examples to the scriptures that I would use, because I would be very Bible based. Excuse me. That particular religious leader would now take all those messages, because I would do things like in a theme situation, right? So whatever the theme for that week, that's what my lives were about. And that person would take those messages and now make that their message for their sermon on Sundays. And I would go to their church, so I knew. And so it got to a point where it was just like, wait, because my parents, they both came with me 2 separate times. They identified it because at the time they used to watch my videos, and they were both like, I remember it was like 2 weeks in a row, and they're just sitting there looking, and I'm just like, why y'all keep cutting your eye at me from the side? Like, what happened? I've heard this message before. And this is what you were talking about. And you gave that same exact example. And I was just like, I'm like, it's okay. And I got frustrated because it was like, let's see what happens if I stop. Like, let's see what happens. And so I had stopped, and I should have only stopped for like a day or maybe like a week or two. I just stopped, right? And I kept going for like, I think I went for like another month and a half, and literally those sermons, those Sundays, that person had nothing to say. So that became a conflict within me, like with just dealing with religion and people hearing from God, and how do people get messages? And it was just a lot of like questions. I had a lot of questions. So that actually just like put me in this like quiet space. So there's been a lot of times, but I think the biggest one has always been money, right? If I'm financially struggling, I cannot focus, God, and like I said, I've had these conversations with the Lord years ago about this, and I had to learn that's when your faith has to activate. That's when and he's shown me those moments like, all right, cool. I know you don't have the money to pay your cell phone bill, or I know you don't have the money for groceries, but if you do this, I got you. And that's where I started to learn that when we are in trials and tribulations, we should focus on our purpose. If there's nothing else that you can do, right? Do what you can do, right? Apply for them jobs, apply for programs, do that part, right? But after you do that, we can't sit idle and we can't sit and wait, right? Because with those actions, it could take 5 seconds for a decision. It could take 5 weeks. You got to sit there and now you have to wait. That's where many of us get stuck, because it's like, well, you're still focusing over here. You're focusing on this right here. You're like, this is all I can focus on. And God is like, I need you to focus over here. You did what you could do. Now let me do what I can do. And so that for so many people, when they're not executing what God is telling them to execute, this is where they're not seeing what they have done come to fruition. If that makes sense, we have to focus on what He needs us, especially when we are in trials and tribulations. He's going to work everything out. And once I got to that level of understanding, once I've seen Him do that, it was like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. I understand why I have to keep doing this, because you're still going to take care of that. But it's hard for people to understand that concept because everything is going wrong according to them. And it could be everything is going right according to him. He might need to shake some things up. He might need to move some people. He might need to remove you from a space. He might need to add new people into your environment so that now you're hearing new things. Like, it's just so much that a lot of us don't really understand when it comes to this purpose and having faith as you are operating in your purpose. And when you start to walk away from your purpose, right? When you just like, look, I got better things to do. I got bills to pay. This is where I'm focused at. That's what the devil wants. That's what society wants. Society wants us to not operate in our purpose. Get the bag, get the money. This is why we have these type of mentalities that we have to unlearn, because it's doing everything but getting us back to our purpose. Because I know people who get the money and they never operate. They never operate back in purpose, right? And the reason why they don't go back to operating in purpose is because they're thinking, well, I did this, right? I can use my gifts, I can use my talents, my skills, and I can make this money. I'm good. It's not always about money, right? It's about being protected, because all I know is that when I listen to what God is telling me to do and He's giving me instructions and directions, I am being led to go where is I need to go, and I'm being led away from where I'm not supposed to be. That could put me in harm's way, whether mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. So many times we just don't understand that. And so the faith kept on, so those days and those weeks and those years, because 2019 was one of them. 2019 was one of those years that I was just like, all right, I tried the purpose thing. It's not yielding the results that I need. Like, again, you getting back to that. I want to pay debt off. I want to get, I want to get back on my feet, God. So let me go and get this job that's 2 hours away from my house. Let me get this job that is going to stress me out. Let me get this job that's going to take up all my extra time so I don't have the energy, right? So I remember 2019, 2020, before the pandemic happened, I didn't have energy to do anything. I didn't have energy to put, the only thing that I had energy to put out was Dear Single in Love. And that's only because Dear Single in Love was written in 2018. If I had to sit and write Dear Single in Love in 2019, Dear Single in Love would not exist. And I'm gonna be very honest with you about that. It would not exist because I did not have. It was like literally that job consumed me. And so when those things happen, let me tell you what God starts to do, right? So this is how he starts to call you back. He start calling you back because he's going to call you back because your purpose is not going to die. If you're still alive, your purpose assignment is still on you. He might modify it and give it to someone else, but it's going to be a modification. It's going to be different. It could be that they're in a different location, a different part of the world, doing the same exact thing he needs for you to do, where he told you to do yours, right? And so that's why so many of us get distracted, because we're looking like, oh, I don't need to do that because, I see so-and-so in Colombia is doing that. So, I'm good. No, that person might be doing the Colombian Spanish version and he needs you to do the US fill in the blank wherever you are version. It's still, your purpose is still on you. So this is the reason why you hear so many of us talk about how we keep being on that fence and going back and forth. So the first thing he's going to do is that he's going to nudge you through people. He's going to nudge you through people. Now, people are going to call you. Now, people are going to be in your DMs, and it's not going to be they trying to talk to you. Now, people are going to be like this. So I had a dream last night, and God told me to tell you. And I'm like, who are you? And these be like I always said, I've been saying this for the last 16 days. You're going to hear everything that God needs for you to do, right? You're going to hear this. You probably got books. This is why I tell people, some of y'all don't even need new instructions. You just need to go pick up them old journals, because them old journals, they have all the game plans. You just got to go pick that up. So he will send those people, the strangers that you don't know, and now they're telling you, this is what God is telling me to tell you. Don't think that those people are crazy. Those people are really just doing what God is telling them to do. And it may not make sense to you today, but it is going to make sense to you. So he is going to send them people, and they're going to come and encourage you. They're going to talk to you about your gift. They're going to inquire about your gift. They're going to be like, well, I think, I saw something, and you're going to be like, I don't do that anymore. But you can, and that's what I love about God, because he will send, and some people will like, that's disrespectful. Sometimes you need that nudge. No, you can still do this, right? Maybe you have not done it in a while, but you can still do it. So, I'm gonna need you to do that. So he's always gonna send people, and I love when he sends the strangers that I don't know. Because see, we're comfortable from hearing from our family and our friends, right? That's why, because a lot of times they don't put that pressure on us the way that a stranger will, right? Because a stranger, you got to understand. And this is why I tell people, if I come to you and say, hey, I was praying and you came up in my prayers, or I kept seeing your face in my prayers and God was telling me to tell you this, just please understand that that's very uncomfortable for me. So if it's uncomfortable for me, right, I can imagine the people that are coming to me to tell me whatever they're hearing, that can also be equally as uncomfortable for them. So pay attention to them strangers, to these kind of messages. Someone could send you this message. They're like, you know what? I'm sharing this video with 5 people, and you don't know why you're even sharing it with those 5 people, right? Some people, they just pick their 5 best friends. Some people pick 5 random strangers, but they pick 5 people and not realizing that one of those 5 might be in a space that this is something that they need. And now you're like, oh, right. So you have to understand that sometimes the strangers is the powerhouse. Unexpected opportunities, right? You're minding your business. You're over here forgetting all about what purpose is. You might be going to brunch on weekends, going to the museums. You might just be going super shopper, food shopping at the supermarket. I'm trying to add supermarket and food shopping at the same word, right? Doesn't make sense. So you could be going food shopping at the supermarkets, and next thing you know, you're having a conversation with someone, and now you get invited to speak on a virtual seminar, or they have a group and now they invite you to come speak at their group. You don't know how these opportunities are going to just come into your life, right? He's going to send those unexpected, the things that you did not apply for, right? You're going to receive recognition and awards. I remember, I think it was like 2018 or 2019, when I received this award. Like, this lady called me. I didn't know this lady. I didn't know her from a can of worms. And this lady was like, I found you online. I've been following you. I still cannot tell you who this lady was. Never seen her come up on my timeline. And that's why I say so many times people get offended. Oh, people don't like my stuff. You know, no one's paying attention to my content because I only got 3 likes. You might have gotten 3 likes, but if you look how many views, there's some views, and there are some people who would just put things on. They're taking it in. They're responding to it, but they might be washing dishes. Like yesterday, I was watching a live. It was a great live. I was just walking on my treadmill, right? I can't engage because it's a walking path. So I'm trying not to fall, but I'm listening. But I can't respond. I can't comment. I can't tap the screen. But I'm listening. I'm taking in this information. So sometimes you're thinking that people don't know what you're doing, and they do. And this woman gave me a whole award for what I have been doing online. And that was again, that's a nudge. I need you to get back on purpose. Look at what recognition you did get without doing the everyday going live for more than 10 minutes. You are still going to get recognized. People are still going to see the power that you have and the gifts that you're using and that you do possess. God is going to always send those opportunities to give you a reminder. So you have to look at it, right? You have to look at it as that. All right. If this is making sense, drop a 1 in the comment. If this is making sense, drop a 1 in the comment. Oh, we have Praise Radio Show over on YouTube, over on Instagram. All right. So the last thing that God is going to do to keep trying to get you back in, it's going to have some kind of conviction. You're going to be watching these videos and you're going to get that feeling. You might get mad. You ever get mad when you listen to somebody's message and you're only mad because you know that message is for you? Yeah, that's what God is going to do. God is going to sit here and be like, okay. And I always tell people that when I've had people who listen to my messages and they get very offended and they're like, are you talking about me? No, if you are feeling convicted, then that is a perfect time for you to go have a conversation. Good morning, Robertson. I was just talking about you on Praise Radio on Instagram. You get convicted, right? That's conviction. So you got an attitude because someone is over here talking about what you should be doing, and you like, I don't like that. Yeah, you don't like it because that's internal conviction. So that's where you're going to start having those deep feelings that you know that you shouldn't be walking away, that you know, like, because you might really enjoy what you do, but again, you might have something in the way that's like in your mind that's bigger than this. I can do this once this is fixed, once this is back in order. But one thing I want you to understand, God, if he really needs for you to do that, He may never let this be fully in order. You may never feel 100% at peace with this situation. Even though things might come together, it still might not come together the way you want it. It might just be good enough. And so now you're living in that, but you're still thinking about that. Whatever you think about the most, that's what we should be putting our energy towards. Whatever you wake up and get excited about, that's what you should be trying to put that energy towards. Not saying don't quit your job, right? Unless God tells you to, because I've been in them situations and people thought I was crazy when I quit my job in 2015. And this is why I love that I had people that understood, that was around, because they helped me to realize, oh yeah, girl, once in a while, God's going to tell you that. He going to shake it up because he has everything in control. And as long as you listen to what he's telling you to do and do it the way he tells you to do it, you're going to be good. The problem is that people hear that, quit your job, and then they stop listening. And that's where you're going to get into trouble. So I'm not telling you to quit your job, but I'm telling you, find that energy. Find how can you put some energy towards that, whether it's on the weekend, whether it's an hour, after work when you get home, before you go to work, right? I do these 7 a.m. Videos and live sessions before I start my day, before I actually start work. During Monday to Friday, because I feel like this is when I operate at my best, right? I just woke up. I just had between dreams, downloads. So God is just like, and so this is when it's just like, let me just go, because you never know where God is going to take these messages. And so that's how we start to figure out a balance, right? He doesn't need you to do this all day long. He only needs 24 hours. He just needs you to do it the way he needs you to do it, how he tells you to do it, and exactly do it that way. And that is how we're going to help us as we're navigating, so that we can stop running away. And all I'm going to say is just be open to how it grows. Be open to how it grows, right? When you listen to people's stories, this is why I love listening to so many like motivational speakers, even pastors and stuff. When they tell their story, right? People get mad at mega churches. And one of the mega churches that I know that people get upset about in New York is CCC, right? A.R. Bernard. Now, A.R. Bernard, again, I started to learn about A.R. Bernard when he built his campus in Brooklyn, the big campus. That's when I was introduced. So speaking to like my godmother, my mom, that's when I started to learn. Like, he started in a storefront. My godmother's mother, God rest her soul, she actually was a member of his church, the first church that he had when they had that storefront, I think was it East New York? I think it was, I forgot what part of Brooklyn. But she used to tell stories, and she was like, before she died, I think he was probably in a, not so big, but he had a couple of hundred people that would be in that particular building where they were at before. And she was like, I remember when we used to be there, and it'd be cold in the wintertime, that door got that little draft. We gotta wear our coats, so we in there praising God, and he's teaching. And it's like, so many times people forget that people have a journey to get there. Like, everyone didn't just wake up and have the check to say, let me cut this check and build me a big stadium and have church because I have thousands of people. Some people literally, because the power that they have, your power is going to attract people. That's what God wants. He needs, there's so many lost souls. And if you're the soul that is going to help someone to get closer to him, you could start with 2 people. Right? Joyce Meyer is another one. Joyce used to do it in her basement. And she's like, and she talks about this. She speaks about how she had a lot of conversations with God, same way that I had. Like, well, only 4 people are showing up, guys. So does this even matter? Let me go back and go work in that office where my ex-husband got me stealing from. And that's Joy's story that she told. You can go back and Google it. Okay. And now where is she? I don't think she even has a physical building, because she just goes all over the world, and she just She ministers that way, right? It looks different for everyone. Some people get the stadium. Some people are just going to be global, right? They're going to just go wherever God tells them to go, and they're going to minister. They're going to go online and minister, go on TV and minister, go on radio and minister. It's going to look different for everyone. I just think so many times people forget that part. So don't allow what you're seeing society talk about, because I think sometimes we do get stuck in that. I know, like I have a friend, we discuss that quite often. It is it is scary to want to do this, as far as ministry purpose, when you're seeing that you're the people who are also out here doing it, who have the gift. Like I said, there's a lot of people out here who are truly anointed to do these things. Play with God's gift. And to me, that is very dangerous. I don't play them games. I'm not playing them games because I don't know if Mandy is still here, but she always laughs and she be like, "Oh, you going to the south side of heaven?" And I don't want to be on the south side of heaven, because I'm out here playing and using God's gift against the way that he wants me to use it, right? And we all have probably known some people, and that will also make someone say, "You know what, God, I don't want to be a part of that." And you're not a part of that. That's the whole thing. He's not even a part of that. A lot of the things that people are doing, God is sitting there like this. I am not over there. What are y'all doing? Charging $2,000 for a prophecy? What? I'm not over there. I'm not anointing anything. There's no power over there. So that's what I want us to realize. And so when you do fully surrender, I want to talk about two things that happen. You want to really just get to that point where you just embrace. You get a feeling of peace, a feeling of joy. You get this feeling of just understanding, like, this is what I know I'm supposed to be doing. Like, every time that I fight myself and fight this battle, when I fully just stop and say, "Okay, God, I'm gonna surrender. I'm gonna do this for you." Even this, right? Showing up for 21 days every day. I leave here with a peace. I leave here with such a peace and such a joy that it carries me throughout the day, because I will get messages, or some of you will just comment, right? Paula knows, Suzanne knows, when they're here and they're engaging, it ends up turning into a coaching session, because they're typing, they're commenting, and now they're like getting revelations, and they're like the aha moments are coming in, or I'll get a DM from someone. I just be like, "All right, God, you doing your thing." They're getting clarity. They're getting answers. The same way when I am obedient and God is like, "Go here, go there. I need you to listen to this. I need you to listen to that." And next thing you know, I'm getting clarity and I'm walking away feeling empowered to continue to go and do this. So that's what that feeling of surrender. No, that feeling of surrender should not feel like defeat. It shouldn't feel like an assignment. "Oh, this is a homework assignment that I don't want to do." No, you should be like, "All right, God." Like when I went to go speak last week, Wednesday, at the Tulsa Remote anniversary celebration, I was excited to go. I was excited to speak because, again, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who needs whatever is going to come out of my mouth. I do not know. But I'm excited to do what he needs for me to do. I thought I go with the mindset and with the spirit of, "Lord, have your way." I always ask him to decrease me and increase his presence. This is not about Tanisha, but I feel good from whatever it is that I'm doing. And no, I might not walk away at the end of that with $50,000 in a check. I might not have anyone sow a seed, and I'm okay with that, because I know I'm doing exactly the way and doing exactly what God needs for me to do. Right? So that's why we need to get to that point of just continuously surrendering. Just keep surrendering. It's going to feel good. You might feel, I'm not going to say that you're not going to feel uncomfortable, right? Because uncomfortable is a different feeling. Uncomfortable is normal because you got to get out your shell, but you're going to feel like, "Okay, I can do this again. Like, I can do this again. I'm excited," right? The other thing is that you have to, keep getting back to, what is God, what's your plan for me? Right? What's your plan? And when you find peace in his plan, that's a great place. See, we all right now have our own plan, right? Some of y'all probably got like 50,000 vision boards. And if your vision boards are not coming to life, I challenge you that the next time, or even now, sit right now and do a vision board, but ask God, Lord, what does my life look like from your lens? Show me. Speak to me. You are going to receive 9 times out of 10 a different vision. I think yesterday I had spoke about this. Me, Tanisha, wanted to be a full-time college professor. I wanted to become a president of a college. I had all these lists of things that I wanted, right? And when I got to the point with God was showing me things, and it was like everything that I wanted, it was like, so I'm not going to be a full-time professor. Or not long-term, because I became a full-time professor. And that's when I realized, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't think I want to like teach these classes all day, right? Because you become a professor of what they're telling you to teach. That becomes a problem. When we want to continue to do only the things that the world wants us to do, you can end up being in a jeopardizing situation, because God is like, I told you to teach, but continue talking to me about what it is that you need to teach. You just out here just trying to teach and get a check from anywhere. And I am very clear about what I used to teach. So when I started to go into now, okay, God, what classes am I supposed to be teaching? Because now I need to get in alignment. And once I started to get into alignment, that's when I really started to find peace. That's when I really started to find joy. That's when I really started to understand, okay, God, like, you're not just out here trying to like punish me. You really want me to still have joy when I'm doing this. You don't want it to feel like work. And so when I got to that point, the things that my life started to look like, right? Working remote, working a job that is not stressful on me, that I still have time. And even God had to convict me about that, because I got so comfortable, and he was like, but you ain't out here doing nothing. Yeah. God can sometimes be disrespectful. Like, you still ain't doing nothing. You're doing what you love. You're not stressed. You're not sitting in traffic. You're now in Tulsa. Where's the stuff at? Like, I need you. And that's where I had to just say, okay, let me get back on my A game. And that's when last year I started back coaching, started back, putting myself back out there. I didn't do a great job at it, because I'm navigating a new city. And so now, I took my time, and I'm pretty sure that if I would have just did what the way God was telling me to do it, I probably would have had even more connections to organizations that I could collaborate or partner with. But again, we just got to keep having these conversations. So don't turn off those conversations, and you just understand that what God needs for you to do, and get on his path. Don't stay on your path. Your path might not be working for you. His path is amazing. All right. So I want you to remember that your purpose is going to continue to chase you down if you keep ignoring it. He needs these assignments done. Remember, I've been talking about this for a while. We have a whole body, right? We are the body of Christ. Every piece, every body part has a purpose, right? If everyone wants to get into their purpose, stop trying to do what other people are doing. Stop trying to do what you think is going to be popular. We will be in a better space. But everyone is trying to do, so the pinkies over here trying to do what the big toe needs to be doing. That's out of order. This is why we have chaos. So we got to get to that point where we stop running from it and just say, okay, God, how can I embrace it today with the way that my life is today? And then just allow him to lead you through that. And I think that, and I used to talk about this a lot back when I talked about purpose for many of years. And the one thing that even I had to be corrected about, purpose is not like a big project. It's not like a big science project, and it's like a one-time, one-off thing. Purpose is every single day. And actually, in Inspirational Trailblazers, 3 weeks ago, I did a 2-part series about purpose. And that's something that I talk about because it's not a big project. We should be operating in purpose every single day in the things that we're doing. And the more that you continue to do it and you are obedient, God is going to now give you more instructions. And that is how we see things grow. So it might have started with this one little lipstick, right? I've seen brands out there, they have one product. And that is all that they sell is that one product. This product works. This product is successful. People love it. And they get stuck at this one product. And then God will say, okay, cool. You listened to everything that I told you to do. You did it the way I told you to do it. So now we're going to add a second product. And now it's going to continue to grow. So from a speaker standpoint, we show up, right? When I first started this series, there were no people watching. No people were watching live when I first started this series 16 days ago. I had no one watching live. And here we are. We got one person. Good morning, Super Chick. We have one person on Instagram, and we got 4 or 5 people coming in and out that are watching between Facebook and YouTube. And when you go back to day one's videos, my energy never changed. I didn't have this like, oh, no one's here, right? No, I still showed up. I still got to give the same energy because I don't know who's going to pop in. I don't know when it's going to come up on someone's page. You got to just keep on doing it and doing it the best way that you know that you're going to do it, because then that's going to grow from 4 to 40, from 40 to 100. And next thing you know, you look around and you're like, oh, shoot, I got 1,000 people on here. I was on someone's live the other day on Friday. I think I told y'all there's a bishop from Brooklyn. She does a daily Monday to Friday for her community on Instagram, right? Only Instagram, no other platform. And I remember when she first started this, when you would tap in, there would probably be like 5 people there in the live. When I had just popped in there. No, I accidentally joined the live because I was going through the stories and got into the live. And I think she had like over 500 people. She just had to continue to pour into what God is telling her to do. And that's all. We just got to be, because guess what? I only have control over Tanisha. I only have control over how I show up. Or if I don't make myself available, then no one will be able to go click on anywhere. They wouldn't have anything to share because I'm not there. That rhyme a little bit, right? No one can go anywhere because I'm not there. So you got to think about it that way as well. You got to show up in order for anyone to know that you're present, right? We get into this mindset, and I've been there before where it's like, well, the people are not here, so why does it matter, God? Well, you keep stopping. You keep doing the stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. They can't find us. When we do the stop and goes, people cannot find us. They do not know where we are because we are not staying consistent. If you stay consistent, they would know where they need to stop. Oh, I need to go over here because she's here. Oh, she's here at 7 o'clock. Okay, 7:03 some days, but they know the time frame. But if we keep on doing this stop and go, purpose, no purpose, purpose, no purpose. Are you mad at the people? Yeah, they're not going to invest in you because you're investing in your time. They're not going to show up and sit there with you if you're not going to sit there with you. You know how many times I have wanted to end the live because there was no one on the live? And I'm talking about when this first started, because I was one of those people that would talk about people like, so you just sitting and talking to yourself? Like, is that what you're doing? Like, that's weird. And then God is like, no, that's not weird. And that's what you're going to sit there and do. Yes, you're going to sit and talk to yourself because I'm gathering them, I'm nudging them, right? So the more that you're, again, I strongly believe that they can do all the algorithm that they want to do. If God needs for someone to see that message at that time, oh, he's gonna make sure it gets to their timeline at that time. And next thing you know, you sitting here and you might be frowning up your face because a lot of times they're saying something that you don't like because the conviction is coming in. You like, I don't want to listen to this. And you making faces, and God is like, keep making faces, but I need you to keep listening. This is all I want y'all to understand. So this is why we can't run away from our purpose. This is why we can't allow any of those things to stop us from doing the amazing things that God is calling us to do. Because if you don't realize, it's not about you. It's not about me. It's about everyone else. Our gift is supposed to be given to the world and be used for the world. So when we don't do it, when we overthink it, when we start talking ourselves out of it, this is what ends up happening. People are going to lose the faith. They're going to get discouraged. I need you to get back. I need you to get off that fence. I used to use that analogy a lot of times. Get off the fence, right? We straddle that fence, we sit on that fence, and we just sit there and we don't make moves. There's no actions happening. It's not happening because you haven't made a decision. So what's going to be your decision? What's going to be your choice? Are you going to chase it? Or are you going to keep running from it? I'd rather chase after purpose and see what happens. That's the energy I'm at now. Let me knock on doors because I'm chasing after it. Because running away from it, when them doors come to me, I'm not going to see it as an opportunity. I'm going to see it as it could be a scam. Oh, is this real? You start thinking about, well, how much are you paying me? You're forgetting all about purpose. When you know that this is what you're supposed to do, you just have so much faith that, all right, God, I'm going to say yes. I told someone when I was like, oh, yeah, I'm speaking at Tulsa Remote. And they was like, well, how much they paying you? And I was like, they're not. I'm an ambassador. An ambassador can have different roles. Some ambassadors are never speakers because they want to be in the background. I don't have a problem being a voice for Tulsa Remote because I see the value of the program. So yes, I want to share. Let me share with everyone. Let me share with the new people. Let me get on your social media because I do believe that this is a move that so many people can benefit from. Right? People who are miserable in their space, don't be miserable there. Make a change. And if someone is going to pay you to make that change, why not? And if you really don't like it, you can always go back to where you're from. Or you can say, you know what, if I got this much courage to do it this time, to move to this place, why not? Let me go try someplace else. Okay. Right? I want to encourage people. I want to inspire people to take that leap, especially if they're sick and tired of where they were. And the reason why I feel that way is because that's what I was at. I was definitely in that space. Okay. Whew, almost at 50 minutes and y'all still here with me. Kudos to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Y'all here. Y'all here today. Okay. So I'm about to drop off. But if you want to connect with me, you can want to learn about my books, Dear Single in Love, Transition to Healthier You. I have some courses about using your gifts to start a side hustle, to start generating extra income. I got courses about that. I have a blog. And I also do have, you probably see at the bottom, my Inspirational Trailblazers community. That is a community of women that are coming together. They're looking to start activating their healing. They're looking to start identifying and living out their purpose. And they're just looking for accountability and support to do that. So that is a space that I have created. I created it years ago and I brought it back the end of December. And if you want, you can join. It is currently $20 a month. But if you use code March25, you will get 50% off for the first 3 months of membership. You will get access to anything. So we did, a 7-day financial healing challenge. You get access to that. You get access to all the previous empowerment sessions that I've done, any master classes that I have done in the past. You will get access to those. And then what I'm gonna do, they don't know this yet, and if you're on, you now know. I'm gonna be giving the current members a free 30-minute coaching session. Right, they will be able to tap in with me and get that experience for a free 30-minute coaching session. My coaching session is 10 times more value, but I'm giving it to them because one is start helping them to align with their goals. So if you join now, we're actually going to be tomorrow talking about your first quarter goals, like wrapping up the first quarter goals. Because so many times people just look at the full year. And if you look at things from a quarter standpoint, that kind of help you to achieve your goals faster. So when we, in the beginning of January, which I gave them the reminder, like here's the video, go back to the first quarter that we did, speaking about that, and now giving them some discussion prompts to prepare them for tomorrow's discussion and conversation. And I think that would be a great thing. So that will also prepare us now for second quarter. Okay. So I would love to see you there. Definitely, this is your invitation. That is your gift from me to you. Just make sure you use that code and you will get access to 50% off for the first 3 months of your membership. Other than that, your girl will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. So we got one more week. This will be the final week of the 21 days. And I did make a decision after prayer and just how I feel. I will maintain this at 7 a.m. Now, I will say to you, Friday's message might be a short message because I'm supposed to drive down to Dallas. And I want to leave early enough so that I can, I like to be on the road early because I drive slow. I want to know people that got to stop, right? People don't like taking road trips with me because I use the bathroom all the time, and that's fine, right? I appreciate that. But yeah, so Friday's message will be a little bit shorter, but it's still going to definitely happen at 7 a.m. But yeah, so definitely stay tapped in. And what's going to happen the 31st, March 31st, we will now just go Monday to Friday. So it won't be no Saturday and Sunday unless God puts it in my heart. I do enjoy the Sunday messages. I feel like Sunday is just like, especially some people don't have a church. And I've been told in the past, like, this feels like a little bit of church for me. So, you just never know. I'm just always showing up and I'm just going to be obedient. So whatever God decides, right now we're just at Monday to Friday starting March 31st. And we will keep the same format, same 3 platforms. I am going to invest in another cell phone so that we can go live also on TikTok. We don't know how long TikTok is staying, and that's fine too. But we're going to just also add TikTok to this because I think that, people just need these messages. So if you feel as though this could be helpful to someone, please go ahead and share this message with someone. Hit the like button, hit the love button if you're on Facebook. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow. Have an amazing day on purpose, with purpose. God loves you. I love you as well. And just keep doing amazing things. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.